Good day. Welcome back to Experience Learning Center. And the reason I decided to say good day is because yesterday, when I said good morning, it ended up taking me a long time to get my video to actually share. So again, I'm on a learning curve and it's pretty steep. So thanks for being patient with me. So how did your homework turn out yesterday? You don't remember what your homework was? Your homework, what? Oh, you do. Oh, some of you do know what the homework. Okay, but others might have forgotten. Okay, but you can always make up for it. The homework was that you were supposed to do a good deed yesterday, and it didn't matter how small or how large the deed was. It was you just had to do one good deed, because Martin Luther King would want to be remembered because of service, right? The service that he provided everyone. And so we too can be held to that same standard if that's something that we place importance upon. So I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm going to say I spent about an hour and 20 minutes collecting garbage or rubbish or whatever off the side street here and on the main street near the highway. No, I didn't go walking in the highway or getting really close. I was a safe distance. So I used some old feed bags, bird seed bags. I feed the birds out here. And at some point, we'll do a little bit of a tour once I find out how to use the camera and how to, you know, get everything situated. So I collected about 4 20-pound seed bags full of garbage. Okay, there were some wrappers. Most of it was bottles, like glass bottles. And what's strange around here is here in Alabama is that they don't recycle glass. I just find that very, very strange. But I want to keep conscious of our time. We're already 2 minutes in, and I want to keep these relatively short. And so, some other things that I've noticed in doing these videos is that on YouTube, it says description down below. So in the description, not comments, is where I'll put any credits for, where I take content from, because we're concerned with plagiarism, remember? And I know I said the term yesterday, and some of you might already know what that is, but we'll talk about plagiarism at another time. But we're going to have a scavenger hunt today. And as I told you, one of my favorite quotes from MLK yesterday was about being the best street sweeper that you can be. And I found out that it was not in I Have a Dream speech. It was actually in a speech that he made at a junior high school called "What is Your Life's Blueprint?" And we're gonna be reading that here in a couple seconds. So put your listening caps on. That's the thing. Put your listening ears on. How's that? And you can actually go like this, because then you actually hear a little bit better. That's how deers can hear from a long, long way away. So in the scavenger hunt, you're going to be looking for 3 things. Okay, 3 things. Just 3 things. Success. Where does he talk about success, and how might he define success? 2, luck. How is luck? Where does luck come in to play in this? And then wealth. But I'm also going to give you some information about each one of these real quick before I start reading. So success, many people in the self-help, which is like a contradiction in terms, because there's in the way the world is set up, there is no such thing as self-help. We need others in order to be helped. Like if you have a cold, where do you go? You go to the doctor, or you go to the pharmacist. And if you have a toothache, you go to the dentist. We depend on each other, and about specialization. Like you specialize in one thing, another person specializes in another. And you can actually look for that mentioned in this speech, in this presentation that Martin Luther King did as well. So success, definition of success: is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. And where I got that from was from a Earl Nightingale. He's part of the New Thought movement back in the early 1900s. The progressive realization of a worthy goal. Next, luck. Seneca, he's from antiquity, you can look up that word too, is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Again, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So there's a conditional, that's a conditional statement. There has to be preparation in order to meet opportunity, in order for luck to make itself known. Interesting. Next, wealth. It actually comes from Old English, the word wheel, not the wheel that's like on your tire, on a tire or on a car or a bicycle or something. Wheel spelled this way, W-E-A-L, wheel. Like in wealth, it's spelled W-E-A-L-T-H. Well, no, wheel. Wheel in Old English means well-being. So you might have heard the saying, "Oh, through many weal and woes I have encountered in my life." You could say so many joys and sorrows, because that's basically saying the same thing, but in modern speak, you might say. And you'll notice that when I end my videos, one of the little catchphrases I'm going to be using is do better, be better. And we'll see how those two things feed on each other. It's kind of like, the Native American belief in the circle. Life is circular, There's no end, infinity, right? Okay, I'm going to get on with reading this, and I want you to, again, identify where those three things appear: success, luck, and wealth. So when are those three things talked about? Remember, I'm going off of the definitions that I've given you for luck, success, and wealth. Okay? Let's get on with it, because we're already 8 minutes in. Okay. What is your life's blueprint? 6 months before he was assassinated, King spoke to a group of students at Barat Junior High School in Philadelphia on October 26, 1967. This was the speech. I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is your life's blueprint? Whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws up a blueprint, and that blueprint serves as the pattern, as the guide. And a building is not well erected without a good, solid blueprint. Now, each of you is in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, a sound blueprint. I want to suggest some of the things that should begin your life's blueprint. Now, pay attention to how he numbers these things, okay, and the importance. Number one, in your life's blueprint, should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your worth, and your own somebodyness or somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you're nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Okay, that was the first one. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as the basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. I love that word, endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days, as the years unfold, what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. Set out to do it well. Some people call that a purpose. Do you want your purpose to be nothing? Well, we already heard him telling us that we're somebody, that you don't want to be nobody. Okay. And I say to you, my young friends, doors are opening to you, doors of opportunities that were not open to your mothers and your fathers. And the great challenge facing you is to be ready to face these doors as they open. Be ready to face these doors as they open. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great essayist, said in a lecture in 1871, that was a long time ago, if a man can write a better book, or preach a better sermon, or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he builds his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. Why? Because they want that better mousetrap. They want to hear that better sermon. They want to read that better book. Oh, better. There's that word again. Okay. So, that always hasn't been true, but it will become increasingly true. And so I would urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil. That's because people used to study near oil lamps because we didn't have electricity. But let's get back to this. I would say to you, don't drop out of school. I understand all the sociological reasons, but I urge you that in spite of your economic plight, in spite of the situation that you're forced to live in, stay in school. And when you discover what you will be in your life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do just that. Don't just set out to do a good job. Set out to do such a good job that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. If it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, here it goes. Here comes this, my favorite part. Sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leontine Price sings before the Metropolitan Opera. That wasn't in yesterday's quote. I wonder why they left that out. We'll have to do some research. Leontine Price is the name. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine at the top of a hill, be a shrub in the valley. Be the best little shrub on the side of the hill. That wasn't even in yesterday's quote either. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you will win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. And that's from the estate of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that's been shared. you don't have to be a smart aleck and say, well, yes, doesn't he know that a sun is a star and a star can be a sun? Well, let's not even worry about that. Let's think about the distance that perception is, sun and the star, the difference between the two. But if the star isn't shining as brightly as it can, then we won't even see it. So let your light shine. I'm going to end because we're already over 3 minutes over the 12-minute mark. I'll speak more tomorrow. So do better and be better. And reach out if you'd like to get in contact with me. In the description below, I've placed an email contact. And I'm not sure how to open up comments down below or anything. So that's on my to-do list. So I have a lot to do today. And I wish you a good day. Again, do better, be better.